Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to present to you our 2020 Southeast Tennessee Local Plan. I'm Michelle Holt, the Executive Director for the Southeast Tennessee Workforce Board. And presenting with me today, I have Virginia Housley, who is the Regional Director for the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Today, we're going to talk about our 2020 Southeast Local Plan. We're going to talk about how our board members and local elected officials are engaged in the workforce system, the role of the local workforce development board and what it plays in the direction of WIOA services, an overview of the strategies being implemented to collaborate on the governor's key priorities, partnerships, new collaborations, and innovative practices, employer engagement strategies, and measuring the effectiveness of those business performance metrics.
Michelle, would you tell us how our local workforce board members and our local officials are actively engaged in our workforce system?
Yes, our local elected officials are actively engaged in the workforce system through regular communication with the board and its staff. The board is employed by the Southeast Tennessee Development District and has a direct connection with the Development District's Executive Committee, which is made up of the local elected officials. During those quarterly meetings, the board and the one-stop operator reports are shared so that they can stay abreast on partnerships and workforce initiatives. Our workforce board members are at the center of our local initiatives due to the committee work that each of those perform. And we also have a direct linkage with economic development for project coordination. A lot of those economic development professionals serve on our local workforce board and or attend as invited guests for those board meetings. Our board is made up of strong committees. Those committees and many of our talented board members that we have on the board through a variety of industry represented sectors. Some of those that work on our targeted populations are Miss Carrie Smith, who is an HR manager at Valmont Industries. Carrie's been instrumental in the development of a pre-apprenticeship program with Marion County Schools. She is an advocate of returning talent with 100% success rate in the last 10 years, and she has provided direct input on policies and procedures to reduce the barriers for our targeted populations. We also have Logan Taylor with YB Normal. YB Normal is a community-based organization that serves targeted populations, especially at-risk youth, and it has strong linkages to the community and participates in events around those targeted populations. Shannon Russo also came to us. She's a business partner with Whirlpool. Shannon had previous workforce development experience in Michigan and worked on returning talent while she was there.
What role does our board have with including our partners and our core partners on developing and delivering our WIOA services in our local area?
Our board is strong and engaged through our committee work that we do. The committees provide direction to WIOA services through policy guidance and oversight. They make recommendations on the investment of workforce funding, and it's led by board members who are well informed and actively invested in the strategies and initiatives of the local area. We also have results-oriented board members that anticipate and expect reports on outcomes and continuous improvement efforts. And they also focus on the comprehensive public workforce system and not just the Title I contracted service providers. And they have a desire to fully develop the role of the operations function in our public workforce system.
And now we'll look at the slide that shows you our alignment of our state plan, our Eastern Regional Plan, and our Southeast Local Plan. And our state plan says that we're going to have clear connections to our current industries and employers. Our regional plan says we will use the wired data for current and emergency industries and occupations. We will use training programs based on in-demand occupations, and we're going to support employer-driven regional sector initiatives. And down to our local plan, we're going to increase the promotion of our American Job Centers, which is the best kept secret, and we're going to expand our work-based learning. And now we're going to look at the strategies to ensure workforce partners collaborate on our governor's key priorities.
Many of you know one of the governor's key priorities is the rural communities and how we serve those, especially the economically distressed and at-risk counties. Some of the ways the board is looking to do that is through the development of access points in our rural communities, expanding virtual services through the use of technology, which we've all had to become more familiar with in the COVID pandemic, expanding our memorandum of understanding partners to extend the reach of the public workforce system into our rural communities, and coordination of training with our Tennessee Board of Regents partners in secondary schools. Many times accessing skills is critical when you live 50 or plus more miles from school, so we're looking at ways that we can partner with them to improve on that. We want to continue to assist our economic and community development partners with projects to grow jobs and develop the area, and then also look for innovative ways for transportation solutions in our rural communities. One of the other ways with the Tennessee Higher Education Training Initiatives that we've been partnering with in Grundy County, we have expanded with the secondary school at Grundy County High School and offered a welding training boot camp locally. Through Mayor Brady's guidance, we have also been asked to look at developing mechatronics, transportation, and hospitality and tourism. In Bledsoe, we've been working with the school there and continuing to participate in the meetings. And look at ways that we can deliver agriculture, business technology, and health sciences to include certified nurses, aide, and emergency medical responders. Additionally, we're partnering with our TBR institutes on the GIVE grants. Chattanooga State was awarded a GIVE grant to help develop the healthcare workforce throughout the Sequatchie Valley. Cleveland State has received funding to support the Advanced Technologies Apprenticeship Institute, which includes computer information, cybersecurity, and technologies in electrical engineering, engineering systems, and electromechanical. TCAT Athens is also offering the National Center for Construction Education and Research certification, which will allow high school students to receive an apprenticeship program at Massey Electric once they're completed. We've also partnered with Economic and Community Development on their 3-star funding in Ray County to help support work-based learning programs there through the Ray Economic and Tourism Council. I mentioned earlier about the Grundy County Welding Program. To date, we've had 3 cohorts there. About 25 Grundy County citizens have been trained there. We've had about 14 AWS credentials that have been earned, and this has been a collaboration between the board, Grundy County Mayor Brady, Economic and Community Development 3-star programs, the Grundy County High School, and then Chattanooga State Community College. Another one of Governor Lee's priorities, as you all are aware, is criminal justice reform. In Southeast, we know that in order to be able to be effective in criminal justice reform, we need to strengthen partnerships that offer diversion options. And this needs to be done with our partnerships with our district attorneys, community corrections, veterans courts, and juvenile and adult centers. And we also want to increase outreach and services for our offender reentry programs, for pre-release orientation and training, and then post-release probation and parole to include presentations on what can be offered through our American Job Centers. We also want to look at involving the community and faith-based organizations through targeted access points with agencies that serve justice-involved individuals and increase orientation and access to those services. And when I mentioned earlier about the welding program and how that connects with criminal justice reform, the last cohort was offered at Grundy County High School. Sheriff Shrum had asked for a class for his inmates. 7 were able to be certified through WIOA individual training accounts for the 80-hour welding boot camp. It was held at the high school, provided by Chattanooga State. Several have received work release opportunities once they complete, and they're working with the American Job Center in order to be able to place those that have not been placed yet. How we were looking at expanding some of those, Sheriff Shrum and Mayor Brady have expressed interest in adding additional training options for the inmate population there. He's also expressed interest in enhanced supportive services that would be needed to support that training. We're also looking to scale that to other communities. We've just recently written a letter of support for the Workforce Opportunity for Rural Communities grant through ARC for Cleveland State, and they'll be partnering with Bradley County jails and surrounding areas to offer a mobile welding lab.
Let's talk now about how we're doing our vocational and workforce development in our area.
One of the things we want to do with the board is set the board up to be the provider of labor market information for insights for informed decisions. We want to connect our employers to our K-12 career readiness programs by utilizing sector-based planning groups of employers and educators that help define and provide industry certifications that are valued in the labor market. We want to highlight our career pathways between partners so that we can increase skills, credentials, and access to higher wages. And we want to ensure that professional and soft skills trainings are an integrated component of technical and skills training. We want to provide better upfront assessments by our case managers to help job seekers identify the skills that they need and access to the training that leads to a better job and increased wages. One of the best practices that we would like to highlight today is our Bradley County Schools PIE Center. PIE stands for Partnerships in Industry and Education. This is a collaboration with business, industry, and nonprofit organizations to innovate student experience. It's the perfect combination of revolutionary high school training, post-secondary college-bearing courses, workforce preparation skills, work-based learning, and industry credentialing. And in fact, Governor Lee was there earlier this morning doing a groundbreaking ceremony, and we can't wait to partner with them on this wonderful initiative.
And again, you can look at our alignment slide showing our state plan, our East Regional Plan, and our local plan. And highlighted will be the K through 12 work-based learning. In our state plan and our regional plan, it's going to be the same. We're going to engage K through 12 and post-secondary partners, and we're going to identify the credentials for our student career pathways. Locally, we're going to develop the youth initiatives for the work K through 12, and we're going to upscale talent for existing workers, and especially during this COVID-19. Now let's look at our partnerships, our collaborations, and innovation in our area.
The Southeast is looking to pilot the common intake process. We hope with this common intake process it will help elevate the role of the welcome function and enhance the customer experience. It'll streamline the intake and referral process, and it will help establish intake specialists that are highly specialized and cross-trained. It'll help it better align the team functions as outlined in WIOA, and it will identify priority customers and orient them to programs and provide linkages to services throughout our partner network for co-enrollment and partner coordination. Some of the partnerships that we've worked on recently, many of those are choosing to be access points as well, as Chattanooga Endeavors, which offers a direct connection to the reentry and Department of Correction partners. The Grundy Recovery Alliance Community Endeavor, or GRACE, which is a community-based organization that's been developed to address recovery and reentry needs in Grundy County. Many of you may be familiar with that, with Marshall Graves, who's been instrumental in helping develop that in the local area. Also, City Fields, which is a placemaking organization in Bradley County that supports economic and community development efforts. And they're in direct partnership with the Refuge, who works in the highest poverty tracts in Bradley County to help those individuals access employment and training in that local area. McMinn Economic Development Authority and the Cleveland Chamber of Commerce, we've also partnered with them on Your Skills, Your Future, which is a web-based application that helps connect existing industry opportunities to community members across Bradley County and surrounding counties.
Would you explain our employer engagement strategy, which will be connecting our businesses to a well-trained workforce?
And everyone knows a well-trained workforce needs expanded employer services. We want to advance the skills and multi-agency coordination of the business service team to become a single point of contact for employers to access services. We want to increase our marketing and outreach efforts to employers to expand the knowledge of the available services. We want to continuously promote work-based learning by engaging employers so that we can advance skills and wages, and then connect employers to a wide range of talent from entry level to highly skilled professionals. We want to work with economic and community development and existing employers to anticipate skill needs that are emerging, some of which could be transition to solar, electrical vehicles, and self-driving trucks, working with our employers to identify occupations that will anticipate large-scale retirement so that we can upskill those workers prior to that happening. And then also work with employers and training providers to provide credentialing that is timely, that meets their needs in the most efficient manner.
Again, we look at how we mirror our regional plan to our state plan and our local plan to our regional plan. And our state plan says we're going to have a clear integration with our economic development partners. Our regional plan says we're going to nurture strong relationships at the local and regional levels with our economic development partners, and we're going to align and integrate business services among our state agency and core partners. Locally, we're going to develop our internal staff, and we're going to expand our employer services. And now, Michelle, would you tell us how you're going to measure the effectiveness of our local workforce forward in these endeavors?
We're going to look at our business service team activity. we're going to have them develop employer engagement plans by convening sectors to discuss the needs and services to provide a skilled workforce, track employer contacts to ensure we're engaging our priority sectors, and then report on the employer services activity. We think that this will provide better team collaborations for improvement for the job seeker, as screening assessments and interviews. It will have better collaboration with the skills training team and the business service team with referrals for those that are completing training. And hopefully we anticipate that this will help in closing the skills gap. Lastly, we're going to talk about how we align our plans, as Virginia has been discussing, the outcome and visibility with the employer pipeline and economic development. We're going to look at the tools that we need for reporting systems and procedures, and our methods and tools that we're going to use to evaluate the benchmarks, and then the use of the BOSS system. And then locally, we want to advance our partner coordination. And then lastly, we want to coordinate our rural services to foster job growth and talent throughout that area. And that concludes our presentation. Again, I want to thank everyone that worked on the presentation, from our board staff and all of our partner agencies, and especially Miss Virginia Housley, who has helped us tremendously throughout this process. Thank you all.
Thank you.